And good afternoon. Welcome to Today to Races presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stanton Salter along with Keith Fusel. Going to be a hot one here today, but that's okay. We've had plenty of rain this spring. The grass is green. We're fast and firm. Looking forward to a big 11-race card this Saturday afternoon.
Turf course and the dirt course getting a little shower when I was walking in.
Right.
The sprinklers are on that turf course, just kind of giving it a little bit of a shower there and cooling it off. It's baked. It's getting quick, but it looks good. Still very good green in color, and the main track is quick as well. Some pretty honest times on that dirt track, but another good competitive card on tap today. Good betting all the way through. Some really wide open races.
Early pick 5 yesterday paid a little shy at $29,000. It was one ticket who took the whole pool down. So I'm going to go after the early pick 5 today. That starts in race 1. Always a mandatory payout with that industry low 12% takeout on the both pick 5s here at Laurel Park. I like the early pick 5 today. We'll take a look at that in a few minutes. Let's show you what we have going on next Saturday right here at Laurel Park. 2 stake races for you next Saturday, July 7th. $100,000 Stormy Blues for 3-year-old fillies, 5.5 on the turf. And then you have the $75,000 Concern Stakes for straight 3-year-olds, 7 furlongs on the main track. So a showcase for 3-year-olds next Saturday. A couple stake races right here at Laurel Park.
Very good. Looking forward to it. I mean, keep them coming. The racing has been very good here at Laurel Park. We're going to continue it next weekend.
All right, a big day all across the country today.
yeah.
Our sister track down there at Gulfstream, they have the Summit of Speed down there today, so a bunch of nice stake races down there at Gulfstream. You can watch that via the simulcast here today. It's a mandatory payout on that big Gulfstream Park pick 6 down there. The Rainbow pick 6. It keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's all got to get paid out today. Mandatory payout on the Gulfstream Park pick 6.
Excellent.
And then our buddy Paige McKinney, he's in the Grade 3 Island up there at Monmouth. Big day at Monmouth, the United Nations. And Paige McKinney, based right at Pimlico for Mary Epler, going for the Grade 3 Island.
Still looking for that Christmas card. Haven't seen one yet.
You should get it. You should be
You
getting
got
more.
it.
You should be getting more than a Christmas card.
You got it, brother. All
for
right.
That one. All right, where are we here? Let's get right to it. Let's show you the track conditions today, show you a picture of both beautiful tracks this afternoon. There we are, no rain in sight. Clear blue skies ahead. A little hot and warm. That's all right. The AC is all cranked up and ready to roll up there in the Garden, Terrace, Tips, and Tycoons. Come on out here, enjoy a nice afternoon, get a nice cool beverage this afternoon to cool you off. Let's see what the weather. What do we have for weather today, guys? What 91?
91.
Come on, it's going to be hotter. It's going to be hotter than that today. The heat index is going to be over 100. Well, all right, we'll take 91. 91 and sunny. Fast and firm. First race post time is 110. A little carryover in the pick 6, a little shy of 1,300 in our 20-cent Rainbow pick 6. That'll start race 6 today on our 11-race card. Let's get right to it. I'm going to go after this early pick 5 today. It starts in race 1. Race 1 also starts our super high 5 with that low 15% takeout. Every race with 7 or more horses, we have the super high 5. Also, race 1 always kicks off your early pick 5. Both your pick 5s here at Laurel. Your best bet with that industry low 12% takeout. It's always a mandatory payout here on the early pick 5 starting in race 1. And the early pick 5's has been getting played better than the late pick 5 recently. Okay. So I'm going to go after the early pick 5 today. It was one ticket yesterday that took it all down for almost $29,000. Let's see if we can get lucky today on the early pick 5. Let's take a look at my ticket. A $40 play for the early pick 5, and race 1's a maiden special weight for 2-year-old fillies, 5.5 on the main track. I'm going to go 5 deep. I think the favorite, the one, no refunds, with a tough draw down there on the inside. She'll be tough, but there's 4 other fillies in here I think can win. So I'm going with the 1, 2, 3, 5, 7 here in race 1. I have to key on somebody somewhere, so I'll key on the 2, score early and often. Looking for back-to-back wins here at Laurel Park. Forest Boys aboard for Marilyn McMullen. So I'll key on the 2, score early and often there in race 2. Going 4 deep in race 3. It's a maiden 25. Long on the Exceller turf course. My top picks, the 2, Killer Kitten in there, but I'll use the 1, 2, 3, 7 in race 3. Race 4 is another maiden special weight for 2-year-olds, 5.5. The 4, Absolved, my top pick, but the 7, Transom, is a first-time gelding in that race. So I go 4, 7 in race 4. Then race 5's a nice 7,500 starter allowance for filly and mares, 5.5 on the bowl game turf course. I like the 8, my top pick in there. Include a check, 12-1, cutting back in distance today with Alex Cintron aboard for Michael Merriman and the 7 Miss World Venezuela. Awfully tough on the turf, so I go 7-8 there in race 5.
All
Let's
right,
see if I can get a
so-
big score here on this early pick 5. Maiden special weight, 2-year-old fillies here in race 1, 5.5 on the main track. We have a stat to show you on the Graham Motion first-time starter, the 3 P scores by Violence. They paid $270,000 for this girl. Here's a stat for Motion.
Yeah, over the last 2 years, he's 4 for 22, 18% with 2-year-old first-time starters on the dirt. Sprinting at Laurel with an ROI. There's a good ROI of a positive one of $3 in P-score. Looking at it, Violence hits with over 20% of his 2-year-old sprinters. The mare Hepburn, she was 2 for 2 at 2. This horse is a half to her Smile, who was a 3-time winner too. You think there's some early breeding with the 3 P-score? Absolutely. Going to be super strong in race number 1. This horse should be ready to roll. A high purchase, $270,000. You know, the one's got some experience, Stan. No refunds, but a little bit of decline last time. A slight excuse, actually, in its last 2 starts, but has that experience to kind of work with. Has speed from the inside. A little intrigued by the 2 horse as well. Bye-bye Birdie.
I go with the 1, no refunds on top here. I don't like the inside post, but I'm hoping the experience can pay off for this filly by Buffalo for trainer John Salzman Jr. Toledo's going to ride. I think maybe with the inside draw, she might be hustled out of there a little more aggressively today to get good position. So hopefully she breaks well and can get a good position going into that far turn with Toledo. I go with the 1, no refunds on top. You go with the Motion, first-time starter, P-scores. Yeah, you mentioned her Smile. She almost made $500,000. Moon River made over $100,000. The Dam, Hepburn by Capote, she was 2 for 13, made about $70,000. Been working well up there at Fair Hill. Motion and Fergal Lynch, they're a solid 20% together here at Laurel.
Yeah, he's got a couple 2-year-olds a day that look awfully live, this Graham Motion. The 2 horse Bye-bye Birdie, it's a first foal. You go to that for the second dam as a grade 2 winner. I'm interested to see this horse maybe a little bit further down the road as well. I think she's going to go ahead and stretch out.
A nice bullet 5-furlong workout right here at Laurel Park, June 21st. You know Hammy Smith is going to have his 2-year-old well prepared. Victor Carrasco, I think, might have a big day. I like him on Dr. Bolt, and I like him on Dundalk, and I think a couple others.
All going to be square prices, too. Dundalk might get a bet a little bit down that 2-1, 3-1 range, but I think Dr. Bolt, you're looking at a good value there today.
Yep. All right, so I like Victor Carrasco on the 2, Bye-bye Birdie, the 5, Empire Panther for Marco Salazar. Jorge Riaz will ride this filly by Sydney's Candy. The debut showed a little life against Maiden 40. You hope the filly got some experience and education from that start. Gets a good outside post today. Riaz stays aboard. I like Marco Salazar as a trainer. So the 5, Empire Panther, I use on my early pick 5 ticket, and it could be a horse like this at 8-1 to really blow it up early on.
All right, let's roll.
All right, turn the page here. Race 2 kicks off. The early pick 4, we're going 6 furlongs on the main track here in the second, claiming 10,000 3-year-old fillies or older. Filly mares never won 3. I go with the 2, Score Early and Often. My top pick, I key on this filly in the early pick 5. Forest Boys was aboard last out. Good-looking win at Pimlico. She went right to the front and cruised by 3 that day. Now, that was for 10,000 2 life. Little tougher condition today, 10,000 3 life, but Marilyn McMullins found life this year. She's having a good year with 3 wins. I hope this filly can break sharp and get right to the front.
Yeah, did it easily last time on the front end. It did those internals, honest internals at Pimlico. 23 of 46 and 1 for your half. Was in hand with Forest Boyce around the turn. She let her out at the head of the stretch and held sway. That group was okay. You know, a 55 buyer probably gets it done on the repeat, but she's got some other speed to deal with in here. She's going to have to be, have that again. I don't know. Can she handle the outside pressure? Because the 6 is awfully quick. When you break down the early internals, the first quarter and a half, and some of the races, Tiz Emily and Jill, I think is just as fast as the 2. I think it sets it up for the closer. I think it's going to be the 5, Majestic Pick. Just want to see Weston Hamilton, this shorter field, take back. Take in hand, get this filly, take this 5-year-old mare to settle a little bit and kind of make that swooping move that we saw yesterday with Cassie Cottonwood. A similar kind of setup where the speed all converged and she just rolled on by from the outside.
Yeah, you make a good point. The 4, Ghost Affair, probably going to be all over my top pick. The 2, Score Early and Often. So it might be a speed duel here in the second to set it up for a closer. You get a nice light weight assignment. Yeah, 111 there with Weston Hamilton on your top pick, the 5. Majestic Pick. All right, so I key on the 2, Score Early and Often there, but see how it plays out.
She's pretty quick early, though. I mean, if she breaks and she's clear after a quarter and in hand against this field, which is pretty much a bunch of one-dimensional types, she could be gone.
All right, let's take a look at the 3rd. Big field going long on the Exceller Turf Course in race 3. We're going a mile and a 16th. Maiden claiming 25,000 for 3-year-olds and upward. I go with the 2, Killer Kitten, my top pick here. You like this gelding as well, by Kitten's Joy for trainer Phil Schoenthal. This will be the second race back this year as a 4-year-old. Toledo will get a nice ground-saving trip on the inside, a good third for the comeback race June 9th here at Laurel Park. I think it had a break from the far outside that day and was wide, but still got up for a good third. Second off the layoff today, stays at the maiden $25,000 level. I think the 2, Killer Kitten's going to get a good trip and should be right there in the third.
Should be able to save a little bit more ground. That's a tough task out there. 12 posts last time out off of a long layoff, going long. But this horse is willingly to the wire. Got beat by a motion dropper. He's got another motion dropper in here today with the 4, Canavero, who's going to have first Lasix on the grass. First time Lasix it's ever run on the grass with blinkers on. I think Canavero is a user. Going to be a shorter price. I'm going to try to be. I like the way Hunt Me Down ran on the stretch out last time. It freshened up since May off of that Pimlico try going along. Major Anthem came back to run a 68, winning back. Best Way, a 58. Those kind of numbers are good enough. So close enough to Best Way. This horse got a nice ride last time out. Was patient with Callie Francois. Just sat inside, eased out through the stretch, and really kicked on well. Sneaky good the last furlong. I think Hunt Me Down is going to benefit off of that second try. Move forward off of that and kind of come and get him through the wire.
Yeah, big effort at 72-1 last out. Got beat by Major Anthem. Major Anthem came right back to win. So the 7 Hunt Me Downs coming out of a strong race. We both like 2-7 for our exacta. The 3 Shanghai Storm stretching out in distance for Maldonado. He can be dangerous with that angle. You get Alex Centron on the Shanghai Bobby 3-year-old today. Good third last out at this level, going 5.5. Now second off the layoff, stretching out in distance. Centron going to be in front early here, probably with the 3.
Agreed. Looks like the speed in this race. Held on okay. You see the short comment grudgingly. That was the turf debut. Now we're going to go ahead and stretch out from the 5.5 and a mile and 16th. Maldonado runners do okay. Sprint the route with a positive ROI, hitting at about a 20% strike rate. And the siblings to this horse all did their best work longer on the grass. I think this horse is going to be okay. A tough one to catch probably is the 3 Shanghai Storm.
All right, so nice 8-horse field there in the third. Let's take a look at race 4. Race 4 kicks off the middle pick 4. A nice maiden special weight for 2-year-olds going 5.5. You like the middle pick 4 today. Here's your ticket. Let's see how you played it.
Yeah, a little $18 ticket. We were close yesterday. Got knocked out in the first, but the next 3, hopefully you came back and took the pick 3 down. We're going to go 3 deep in race 4 with the 2, 3, and 4. There's motion with a live firster again with Smile Brian. 5th race, the 6, 7, and 10. Jersey Life, your price value in there. Race 6, we're going to go ahead. It's probably going to be everybody's what they think is a free square today in race 6 with the 4, No Honey Money. We're Claudio Gonzalez. And race 7, stretch it out to 4 horses. 2, 6, 8, 11, $18 is your ticket for the middle pick 4.
All right, it's a nice maiden special weight here in the 4th to kick off this middle pick 4. 5.5 on the main track for 2-year-olds, maiden special weight. We both like the 4, I think. We have a video spotlight to show you of the 4, Absolved. Here's the debut effort, June 22nd, on the muddy going right here at Laurel Park.
Yeah, and Absolved flashed a little speed in that race, Dan, and then it dropped back and it angles out through the stretch in about the 2 path now. Going to go ahead and work from between horses past the 8th ball. On the far outside is the eventual winner day. That was another Claudio runner, but I like the way Absolved kind of churned on willingly along the rail to the wire in the debut. Wasn't a real comfortable trip at all. Showed a lot of heart. I think we'll move up off of that try. 2-year-old Son of Blame looks awfully good in race number 4.
Yeah, keeps Victor Carrasco aboard. And like I said, I think Carrasco is going to have a big day. And Victor Carrasco is 30% and a nice positive ROI when he rides for Claudio. So we both like this colt by Blame. We both have him on top. The 7, Transom, is a first-time gelding today for trainer Anthony Farrier. The Farrier barn with a nice win yesterday here at Laurel Park. And this 2-year-old by Bulls Bay, a Maryland bred, showed speed in his debut against maiden special weight. Going 4.5 at Laurel back in early May. We haven't seen him since then. They've gelded him. The recent work, so the recent half-mile work, no good, but a nice bullet 3 furlong workout June 18th here at Laurel Park. So we love the first-time gelding angle. Toledo will ride. I think the 7, Transom, gets a nice trip today.
Okay, yeah, we'll have speed. Might have some other ones to deal with. The two's awfully quick as well. Coming out of a strong race at Churchill Downs back June the 7th. Got beat by a Cassie runner and Dream Maker, but that second place finisher came back to run a 65 next time out. If that's any indication, always mining will be right up, right there from the get-go, a presence throughout race 4. Look at the firster real quick, the 3 Smile Brian. I got to thank my wife Gina for sending me some notes on the phone. The magic of technology. I guess some of the things texting and taking some pictures. I left everything on the on the counter at home this morning, so I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. But I've gotten some good notes here that she sent in. But Golden Sense, starting out strong as a stallion, 33% with 2-year-old dirt sprinters. This mare was unraced, but has 3 2-year-old winners. Okay, to her credit. I think Smile Brian, another one. The breeding here for these motion firsters today.
Sure, yeah, they paid $120,000 for this colt at Keeneland, so he's bred to be a runner. You get Fergal Lynch, and nice works up there at Fair Hill, so you have to respect the 3 Smile Brian. I just go 2 deep here on my pick 5 ticket, using the 4 Absolved and the 7 Transom. See if I can squeak through race 4. I'm only 2 deep as well in race 5 to conclude my early pick 5 ticket. Race 5's going 5.5 furlongs on the bowl game turf course. Nice 7,500 starter allowance for filly mares 3 and up. And I go with the 8, my top pick here, include a check at 12-1. Now, I am a little concerned. I just noticed the quick turnaround. This mare, by include, running back in 7 days. And with this heat, that could be a factor. But she's been running some decent races recently. Michael Merriman stretched her out long on the turf, a good third 2 starts ago. She went to the front at this level right here at Laurel Park and finished a good third. Then they tried first level Maryland Bred Allowance Company last out. She showed speed that day and a good third behind Monte Krista, who's going to be a stakes winner this year on the turf. She's a half to Just Howard, who's the greatest stakes winner. So I think the 8 included check's been running well. I like to cut back in distance today. Alex Cintron's going to ride. I'll take a shot. Hopefully the heat doesn't bother her too much running back in 7 days. That's my main concern. But if that's not a factor, I like the 8 include a check here in race 5.
She's going to have targets. The 4, No More Excuses. The 5, Stella Nova. They're awfully quick. Standard Deal has shown some speed in the past. So, yeah, she's not going to be 2 lengths off of it after a half a mile like she was last time going long. But you said she ran against the right horse in Monte Krista. She's going to slip away at the windows. She's going to be double digits, Stan, and she could come flying late. Really willing to the wire. I thought, she's not going to hold on for the show there. She kept trying every step of the way in that route race last time out. But I'll go with the 6, Jersey Life. I just think this horse is going to enjoy a perfect trip for trainer Tim Shaw under the guidance of Forest Boys. 68, 69 kind of buyer, the kind of higher 60 is going to win this race, I believe, and I think she can do it. She's come back off the layoff from November to June, a good try behind Pink Princess, gets a little bit more distance than that Parks try, gets an added 16th of a mile with the speeds just to her outside. I think she drafts right there mid-pack, is able to save ground. She can make a steady progression. If she keys up against the right kind, going back on her sprints, she 5 for 12 sprinting on the turf.
Yeah, solid resume on the turf, second off the layoff today, so you have to like the 6, Jersey Life there in race 5. Let's get a quick commercial break. When we come back, today's 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6, and it's not as big as that mandatory payout down there at Gulfstream Park, but it's been being hit for some nice scores here recently. It's a little shy of 1,300 for the Pick 6 today. That starts in race 6. We'll take a look right after this.
Whether you're at home or at the track, have a stake in the race when you bet with ExpressBet. Sign up for an ExpressBet online betting account and receive up to a $500 sign-up bonus.
All right, welcome back today at the races presented by Fidelity First. Here we go with the 20-cent Rainbow Pick 6 starting in race 6 today. There's the carryover, $1,292 for our Rainbow Pick 6. We're going 6 furlongs here in race 6 to kick it off. Maiden claiming 16,000 filly mares 3 and up is the condition. And, you talked about it early. Everyone's going to be keying here on the 4, No Honey Money. First time in the Claudio Gonzalez barn. This filly is coming from San Anita. She was a good third last out, going 6.5 against Maiden 20,000. That's probably going to be good enough here at this level. Claudio, first-time horses in his barn, 32% in a positive ROI. Victor Carrasco rides this filly. Number 4, No Honey Money, is going to be a popular favorite in race 6.
And we know this owner-trainer combination. They mean business when they hook up. They bring them west-east quite often and do quite well. 4 for 14 over the last couple years with this kind of move. No Honey Money looks like the speed of the speed. Should go ahead and dictate. Towson, of the horses that have run, she looks like the only one. Tossed the last, unfortunately, reared at the break. We used her in that race on the turf, but put a line through that. You go back to the sprints. You know, she's okay. I think she can rally into it and complete the exacta. You've got that stranger in here. I didn't know what to do with the 7. Bet her later. Certainly bred top and bottom to run early, but it's taken a long time to get to the races.
Yeah, patient handling here. 5-year-old mare by Top Sire. Great Notion out of an Indian Ocean mare. Some okay works over there. Pimlico, decent 5-furlong work from the gate, 102 and 2. June 13th, and then they put a 3/4 work into her June 22nd, so she should be fit. You get the apprentice tie, Laia Pustina to ride, Lasix in debut. Why not? I applaud the guy for running her for maiden 16.
Right.
And he's the owner trainer. He's patient handling. Probably handles her with kid gloves, and but instead of going for the maiden special weight, maiden 40, he goes in for the maiden 16. That's what you're supposed to do.
You put your time in. You want to get a return if you can.
Yep.
Let's go do it. Yep.
All right, so maiden 16 to kick off the Rainbow Pick 6. Let's take a look here at the race 7 to kick off our late pick 5. No carryover in the late pick 5 today, but as always, more money back to you with that industry low 12% takeout on the late pick 5 starting here in race 7. We're going 5.5 furlongs on the Exceller Turf Course rail at 70 feet, claiming $16,000 for straight 3-year-olds or older horses. Never won 3, and I go the far outside here. The 12, my top pick, Magician's Bag. I just wasn't too intrigued by anybody else here in the race. Julian Pimentel is going to ride his 4-year-old son of Straight Magician. He's 0 for 4 on the turf, but he's run a couple decent efforts. Last fall here on the Laurel turf, a couple decent fourths. One against Allowance Company, one at this level. So I just think Pimentel, great grass rider, is going to get a nice trouble-free trip on the outside here with the 12 Magician's Bag. I think it's a good trip here in race 7.
Scramble of a race stand right here. And you put a little bit of more bottom into that gelding last time out. Stretched out, went awfully quick early, came back to the field, passing the 5/16, faded from there. But I expect a rate and kind of a move from mid-pack. Try to maybe draft in, save a little bit of ground. Pimentel's going to have to do his best work from out there. I think the 11, Centcom works. 2-back number. It's super strong. Any repeat of that goes ahead and gets it done. Take a flyer with the 2. Arizona Baby, never tried the turf. They tried to get this horse on the turf 2 races back. It was rained off. Didn't run well for the nickel condition. Finally going to give it its chance. By DeFunny Bone hits with about 12% of the turf runners when they hit the grass. So I think Arizona Baby. The blinkers go back on. This horse has made some middle moves, going a little bit longer in the dirt that work. Take the shot. Look at the first turf for Dale. ROI of 854. It's good enough for me in a field that's just really wide open.
Yeah, sure. All right, so you kind of see the race same way I do. I'm not impressed really by anybody in the race. It's wide open, so you go with a horse making his turf debut at a decent price for strong connections, and I went with strong connections on the outside there with the 12, just hoping he stays out of trouble and Pimentel can have in a good spot turning for home.
Agreed.
All right, nice starter allowance here. In race 8, we kick off to late pick 4 here in the 8th race. 5,000 starter allowance for 3 and up, 5.5 furlongs on the bowl game turf course with the rail at 17 feet. I like a 9-2 shot in here. The 7, Dr. Bolt from my main man, trainer Marco Salazar. Victor Carrasco is going to ride his 6-year-old son of Cherokee's Boy. The comeback race on the turf here in April. At this level, put your seatbelt on. It's a solid turf horse. He won that race. Dr. Bolt had a little trouble at the half-mile pole that race, so he had an excuse for that race. His last couple races haven't been on the turf, but he had a nice allowance win right here at Laurel Park last October, wire-to-wire against first-level Maryland Bred Allowance Company. I'm hoping he can get back to that good form today. I think Carrasco gets a nice trip on him breaking from the 7-hole today. Dr. Bolt, my top pick here in race 8.
Well, anytime you put your seatbelt on and he's close to a horse like that and these nickel $7,500 starters, you respect that. Dr. Bolt, he's used to becoming a horse that would close from way back. Now he's showing a lot more speed.
Yep.
He's forward in here in a race that really doesn't have a true front runner. Maybe Coleman Fire will go ahead and send. Was very fresh to go June 15th on that return try. Kieran McGee reached in, grabbed it and protects the horse right back here for the nickel condition. I like the 3 Adversary. Rodolfo Sanchez Salomon has done the best work with this horse. We said this. We've been targeting this horse a couple times. Back-to-back wins, May 13th, May 26th. Turf dirt, it doesn't really matter. He's tactical enough. He's faced the right kind. He gets good position here early. Wherever Gomez wants to put him, I think he's going to be a real tough cookie from the quarter pole to the wire. I think the road's going to go through him once they turn for him.
I like him. He's 0 for 11 on the turf, but he's on a couple of big efforts on the turf. I use him in my exacta. Kevin Gomez should get a nice forwardly placed trip on the inside there with the 3 Adversary. We both like the 8 on the outside. Union Blues cutting back in distance today for trainer Jennifer Shannon. Went to the front, last out going 2 turns, finished a good third. Weston Hamilton stays aboard today. I like the cutback here for the 8 Union Blues here in race 8.
Really done nothing wrong. 2 solid tries and another one. A barn that doesn't get a whole lot of play. They don't win a lot. He's had a tough year when it comes to wins. But this horse, he seems to run for anybody, it looks like. So Union Bridge turning back into distance to 5.5 off of that mile and 16th. That's my biggest concern. But this horse has been game. I think he can make a stalk and pounce kind of a move in here. And Jose Seaview, Bruno Tesori, we saw him catch with a turf sprinter with a win with Ruiz. They team back up with Jose Seaview. Good try last time out of Delaware. Starship Thor is a horse that was very tough and optional first level optional claimer other than up at Monmouth last summer. So he's up against the right horse there. I think this horse is fine.
All right, you get Jorge Riaz there on the 2, Jose Seaview. So a nice nickel starter, 5.5 on the bowl game there in race 8 to kick off the late pick 4. Very nice 2 other than allowance feature here in race 9 to kick off the final pick 3 of the day. We're going a mile and a 16th on the main track. 2 other than optional claiming 25,000. I have the 4 on top. You like the 4. We have a video spotlight to show you of the 4, Brighton Lane. Here's the race from June 9th right here at Laurel Park at this level. Coming back to the races after having a little time off. Runs into bonus points, last year's Maryland Million Classic winner.
You saw that break, guys. Broke a little slow, then bobbled right out of the gate. And then he's used wide into the first turn, 3 and 4 wide. That's not an easy thing to overcome. This horse ended up getting a stalking position, made a move into the slower pace. They slowed it down, and boy, this horse was game to the wire. Bonus points comes up to the outside. That was a Pletcher runner coming in, shipping in from New York. But, Brighton Lane was not going to give up without a fight. Only gets beat about a length here. Topped out. That was one of his best races in his career. Can he run it back? That was the key. Looking at this race, another race, really hard to figure out the speed, the flow of this race. I think Brighton Lane with that race there shows me he can come from a little bit further off of it. He needs to. He just needs a little cleaner break.
I have him on top. You went with the horse. Dave Johnson and Bill Finley were asking me about this horse earlier on Sirius Satellite Radio. Tam O'Shanter. I took the wait and see approach here on this well-bred. Homebred by Dr. Catherine Wills, 6-year-old by Mineshaft, was 2 for 2 3 years ago when the horse was 3, and then something happened, and she gave the horse a long break, and now with a good trainer, very good trainer, Delacour with another win yesterday, and 26% he is with new horses in his barn, and he's also 26% with horses coming off this kind of layoff. It's a long layoff. Fergal Lynch will ride. I took the wait-and-see approach here of the 6th Tam O'Shanter.
It's a very, very, very long layoff. 2015. You know what, though? I look at this race. I'm not thrilled by anybody, and I know one thing. Orno Delacour wins races.
Yeah, he does.
Okay,
yep.
and he spots his horses as good as anybody. Lynch, who was also named on another horse from that when the overnights came out, ends up here. All right. Working out, it looks like the works are great. He's got plenty of good horses in the barn to kind of gauge this horse by and see how he's going. Any other time, any other trainers, I'd say, Keith, you're an idiot. What are you doing here? Not this guy. I'll ride along with Arno Delacour any day of the week. Tam O'Shanter, little shot here, and it should get a little back. You got a horse like the 1 on Bridal Line. This horse has run some big races in the past, shown a lot of time. Don't understand the turf tries last year. Another one freshened up. Some strong works for Hammy. Brighton Lane's going to be a short price, but he's 3 for 28 in a 2 other than. So, where do you go?
It's good to see the 6, and Delacour wouldn't be running this horse if he wasn't right. He's 100% for sure, and it's good to see the 6-year-old still running. We need horses to stay on the racetrack. That's how we stay in business, and so you have to applaud the owner breeder here. I'm sure she had a big part of keeping this horse, doing something on the farm, getting ready to come off the layoff. Dr. Catherine Wills, the owner breeder here with the 6th Tam O'Shanter. So I wish her well. I hope the horse runs big for her coming off this kind of layoff.
All right.
Nice 2 other than allowance feature there in race 9. All right, let's take a look here at the 10th race to kick off the late daily double. Nice first level allowance contest here for race 10. 3-year-olds and upward. We're going 5.5 furlongs on the bowl game turf course. Rail at 17 feet. My best bet of the day, the 7 Dundalk. But we have you like the wow, you didn't use the 7 here. I didn't use the 6 either. All right, let's take a look here. The 6 Jareth. We have a video spotlight from the June 2nd race, 5.5 on the turf right here at Laurel Park.
Yeah,
Here's the start.
Yeah, check this break out. Not really good. It's tried out, just a stumble right to the nose at the break and settles well back, about 15 lengths out of it. Midway on the turn, we're going to watch that stumble again for Jareth. But what I like is a little bit of the light life this horse shows. Kind of back there in the back under a little bit of a hand ride here. There you go, a little nursed along. We'll call that nursing handling past the 8th pole, Stanley, and then swinging out here late and shows some willingness, I thought, to the wire. And Kelly Rubley's going about as good as any barn. There you go. It just kind of guided out to the outside as the winner. Cobb, who didn't come back and run so well yesterday, had a wide trip, but a little flash there. The old Clem Florio flash you like to see when they come across the screen. Second time out off of a little bit of a break here for Kelly Rubley. I'll give Jareth a shot. There's some speed to target in here. Jack Straight, it was first time gelding for Franny Abbott. But the one, Smart Royalty, I'll just throw out the last. Was hung wide into an honest pace, a little softer ground last time. This horse will be a major factor on the front end for Damon Dillo DeVico.
Well, I didn't use your 6, but you're getting 10-1 with strong connections here. Pimentel, one of our top turf riders. Kelly Rubley, she's 42% so far this summer meet. Second off the layoff for this 4-year-old colt by a hard spun. So a big price there on the 6 Jareth. I didn't use. I have the 7 Dundalk on top. Maryland bred, homebred for Robert Gerzak. You love to see these homebreds still going. He's by Baltimore Bob, who Gerzak campaigned. Baltimore Bob was a stakes winner going long on the turf. And I thought Dundalk, who had a nice maiden special weight win on the Laurel turf last summer, and overall he's 5 for 7 in the money here on the Laurel grass. And even though Cobb didn't run too well yesterday, I thought that was a strong comeback race for Dundalk, coming off a long layoff at this level on a good turf course. Gets up for a good second. Very respectable 78 Beyer speed figure. Gets a good post today. Victor Carrasco will ride. Gets back to a firm turf. I like the 7 Dundalk. My best bet of the day here in race 10.
Yeah, honestly, there's not a whole lot splitting these horses. I mean, 3 Love You Much is a kind of a tricky one to gauge. Had trouble. Was researching inside. He's just turned into a different kind of horse this year for Ferris Allen. And the 2-back try. Shoe Love Shoe didn't come back to run well in the dirt. Joseph was okay in a 2 other than, if I'm not mistaken, optional. So Love You Much, yeah, I think you've got to respect those 2 return tries. And this horse is better than that 73 last time. Would have run faster, but if it weren't for that trouble midway on the turn.
All right, so we both like the 3 here. You have the 2 in your exacta, Running in the Vale. Weston Hamilton aboard for Gary Capuano. It was right there, turnover home last out against Starter Allowance Company. Got a little tired. Now second off the layoff. He was 58-1 in that race coming off the layoff. Now second off the layoff, and he steps up into a tougher race today.
I'm going to talk about shedding some tears. Seeing grown men cry in the press box.
Did you have him?
Oh, we needed this horse last time.
58-1.
Just run second. Look at the margins there. Just run second. Gary Cap second back. Off of a layoff angle has come back with 2 good works. This horse looks like he's keeping good form. I think that Henry the King race is as good as that A other than that we saw that Cobb came out of. So I'm taking a shot in a race that this close in form. I'm going for prices 6-2-1.
Yeah, we're all over the place here. I didn't use the 1 either. Smart Royalty, but a couple nice wins earlier this year on the turf, but steps up into deeper water today. Centron's going to need to get a good break there on the 1 Smart Royalty. Overall, it's a very nice first-level allowance feature, going 5.5 on the bowl game. We kick off the late daily double here in race 10. Let's take a look at race 11, a big field on the turf here for our final race. Going 5.5 furlongs on the Exceller Turf Course rail at 70 feet. Maiden claiming 40,000 for filly mares 3 and up, and I go with the 7 Baltimore Babe on top. Homebred for Gerzak by Baltimore Bob. We know the story there. Dove Houghton, the trainer here. The debut last November on a tiring, yielding turf course against maiden special weight. Broke from the 1 hole that day, had to rally from off the pace to get up for a good third at 9-1. I think that was a very, very useful debut. She got a lot of education and experience out of that race. I think Dove and Gerzak realized they had something nice. They gave her the winner off. Now she's rested and fresh, making her 3-year-old debut today. Don't worry about the slow works here at Laurel Park. That doesn't mean anything. Works don't mean anything. Marty McGee says time only means something when you're in prison. He's right about that, too. But, yeah, you get Victor Carrasco on the 7, Baltimore Babe, my top pick here in race 11.
Yeah, and if I can remember, I had a little note on this horse. It might have been like the 9th place finisher came back, has won a couple of races since. So that race has been productive. Another wide open race. I like the 4 Audubon Express. Had a little note on Vega. It's 29% with the turf sprinters. So that's good enough for me. Improved speed, second time out. That was a muddy track. We're going to go second time Lasix. Let's see how far Audubon Express can kind of go. We'll maybe have to sit off Dorcas Carey, who has awfully good speed there, the 8 horse.
All right, you get a rider change there on the 4. Make it J.D. Acosta.
Right.
Good gate rider. J.D. Acosta on your top pick there, the 4 Audubon Express. So this is a spread race. If you're playing the pick 6, pick 5, or late pick 4, I think the race 11, a spread race. We're all over the place there in this race. We both we agree on the 9 here. Natural Notion, a great Notion filly for Christopher Cole. Wesley Ho will ride this horse. A good third against Maiden 40 back a year ago, over a year ago. Coming off a long layoff today. Has some slow works at Charlestown most recently. So if Kolb has this horse ready to go, she'll get a nice trip on the outside probably.
Yeah, blinkers went on and some improvement for Natural Notion. Now we haven't seen this horse back off nearly basically a year layoff, but took play pretty much every step of the way, every start in 16 and 17 off the Bourbon. We'll get some play for Motion. Did run a little bit spotty. I watched that race at Monmouth. Holiday Hopes comes out of a race with Altamora Virginia Fable, the Tyson Gilpin winner, Altamura. The firster, I'll throw in here. Flint Stites usually don't kind of play his first-time stars, but I know he's 18% with a positive ROI. Any given Saturday, that stallion's 15% with turf sprinters. The mare with stakes placed on the grass, so a couple little angles. This late pick 4, but pick 5 could be just box cars when you're breaking it. Really, really, contentious races all the way through.
And the beauty of an 11 race card, you can play the early pick 5, hit the early pick 5, rest up a little bit, get a nice iced tea, and go in for the late pick 5 starting race 7. Give you a couple races there in between to regroup. All right, that's it. We're out of time. Big 11 race card today. Don't forget about that Summon of Speed down there at Gulfstream. It's also a mandatory payout on their huge monster Rainbow Pick 6 down there at Gulfstream. So big action down there. Best of luck. Rodman's coming up next with scratches and changes. Good luck.
Good luck.